fake it till you make it, man. Don't be afraid of taking on an opportunity that you think you're not ready for. You know, just take everything for what it's worth and just do your best and just roll with the punches. That's what I live by. I try not to be scared of anything.
This is the Total Human Optimization Podcast, the show that explores how to become the best version of yourself. We go in depth with experts in fitness, nutrition, and well-being to examine new ideas and time-tested strategies that can help you on the path to optimization.
On today's episode, we're talking with the self-proclaimed Primal Swoledier, Eric Leija. Well, look who we have here. It's the Primal Swoledier. Eric Leija is in the house, and Sean Heisen. How's it going, guys?
Glad to be here.
It's going good.
Awesome. So if you're a listener of Joe Rogan or you watch his show on YouTube, you may have seen them brought up this one guy. He looks not ideally human. He looks kind of like an action figure, almost like a G.I. Joe. He wears the tiniest little shorts. He doesn't wear a shirt when he works out. And he was doing all these crazy kettlebell movements. He goes by Primal Swoledier. So, Eric, first of all, I want to ask you, what was it like to be pointed out on Joe Rogan? I mean, because that's crazy.
I love Joe Rogan, man. I've been a big fan of his. Obviously, you know, I've been working for the company for Onnit for over 4.5 years. And, you know, I've known Aubrey for a long time. So I've always been a big fan of his podcast. I was super into it, you know, back in the day before I got serious into fitness and really started, you know, getting serious with Onnit Academy. And, you know, it was super dope, man. I'm a really big fan of Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub, and Brian Callen. Those guys are all awesome. So I was super stoked when that happened.
Okay, so were you always the Primal Swoledier growing up? Was there ever a point in your life where you're just like a skinny kid, or maybe
I was a little fat kid growing
like
up.
A little fat kid.
Yeah,
huh?
man. I would eat Taco Bell, nacho cheese chalupas, fucking hot Cheetos. I would pop open hot Cheeto bags at the corner store and put nacho cheese in them. I was a little fat ass, but I got into fitness when I was like 11 or 12. You know, kind of got tired of being the fat kid. I started getting into girls. I started liking, had a crush on one of the cutest girls in middle school. So I was like, man, I got to get in shape. So I picked up the Arnold Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding and kind of dug through that, started working out at home. And once I was old enough, I got a gym membership and started, getting into it.
I think lots of us started the exact same way. So then how did you transition from the bodybuilding workouts to the unconventional stuff you're so well known for now?
Well, at one point I realized, when I was like a teenager going into high school, after I played football a couple years in middle school and freshman year in high school, that bodybuilding workouts didn't make me a lot tougher. I wanted to be tough. I wanted to be able to beat people up. I grew up watching like MMA, UFC, and so I realized, being a bodybuilder or like a muscle head, meathead was just going to slow me down, and like I wasn't going to be able to defend myself in a fight very well if somebody wanted to beat me up. So I started training with kettlebells and more functional training that would translate over well into like a combat sport.
I think it's worth noting that, yeah, you're a more functional guy now, and you have this tremendous power capacity and endurance that everybody here has noted, but you haven't lost any of the aesthetics either. You still look great with your shirt off. As a matter of fact, you never really wear a shirt. So you want to talk about that at all?
I don't wear a shirt. I don't wear a shirt because I work long hours. I work, I get here. I have clients in the morning, so I get here like at 6 in the morning.
Man, I'm in the office from like 8 to 6, and I keep my shirt on.
Well, I don't want to do so much laundry, I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't want to. It's just a huge load, having to go through 3 shirts a day, So because I get breaks in between clients, and I like to shoot content, and I'll get my workout in the middle of the day, so it's a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah, well, let's just
That's the politically correct answer.
well, let's just be honest here for a second.
And obviously, sex sells on Instagram.
Now I feel weird about saying the next part, but if you have a chiseled body like that, which you are lucky enough to have, I mean, I think I would do the exact same thing, but I'm not blessed with that, and I didn't work hard enough for it.
At least he's honest about it.
But I also want to bring up a fact that, okay, so a couple of years ago, I remember there was a point where we were going out to an Onnit celebration of some sort, and you were carrying around a stick of Kerrygold butter, and he was applying it to everything. I mean, he had chicken wings, and he was putting a little slab of butter on it.
I was trying to bulk.
Yeah, so what was that all about?
I was trying to get bulk, trying to get bigger, trying to put some size on. And so I was trying to add calories to my diet. And, I was super into like the bulletproof diet. And I was like super about the buttered coffee and grass-fed butter and eating tons of really healthy fats. So I thought, oh, well, if I'm going to put on size, I guess the best way to do it is to just add extra calories. So I'm going to add, extra grass-fed butter to everything. So I was carrying butter with me everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you find that fat was the best way to do that, or did you increase carbs as well? Was it calories across the board, or did you find one nutrient over another?
I mean, I ended up actually getting a lot leaner. I ended up losing a lot of weight when I was adding a lot of extra fat to my diet. Yeah, it wasn't until I started adding extra carbs and added fat, just overall more macros, that I started gaining weight. And coupled with high intensity training, I was able to put lean muscle mass on and maintain my lean muscle mass. Stay lean.
Yeah. So
stay shredded.
So when you're going through that phase of just trying to build muscle and you're eating all that butter and basically just trying to eat everything because you're trying to get all the calories.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Did you feel still good? Because you're still working out, but did you feel like sluggish or?
Nah, I felt good, man. It honestly made me feel better. I was able to work out, 2 to 3 times a day. And not feel like a lack of energy. I felt great, felt better than ever. I don't do that anymore. Now I try to eat as much as I can in between sessions, in between clients, but it's not as crazy as I was back then.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we have these leaderboards at the academy. All these different people come in and they compete on different physical fitness tests to see where they rank, and Eric pretty much dominates the whole thing. If there's one alpha trainer at the academy, it's got to be him. So can you talk about what is your advice for getting that well-rounded, and how did you get good at so many different things? Is it just a matter of working them all into your workout, or do you have a long-term program you're on?
I do a lot of pull-ups, a lot of running, and a lot of heavy lifting. Kettlebells are like one of the biggest supplements to my training, or like one of the biggest parts of my training, because they develop a lot of grip strength, core strength, and a lot of stuff you can't really get from a lot of conventional tools like machines or dumbbells. But I do a lot of barbell training as well. I do the big lifts. I don't do a lot of overhead presses just because I have bad shoulders and super tight lats from all the pull-ups I do. But I like to do a lot of back squats, heavy deadlifts, and some bench press. I like to hit my chest with dips. I feel like I can get a lot of benefit from dips and without loading my shoulder joints.
Are you training every single day of the week?
Yes, every day of the week. I lift heavy 2 to 3 times a week, depending. It's like every other day I'll lift. And in between, I'll do some type of cardio training or active recovery, like running outside. I'll run up to an hour, like 6 miles, or kickboxing, Muay Thai. And I mean, my grandpa used to always say, when I first started training when I was 12, he heard I was lifting. He said, "Hey, why are you lifting weights, mijo?" And I was like, "I'm trying to get stronger." He's like, "Well, if you really want to get stronger, just go run outside." And then I took that to heart. I started running. I lost a bunch of weight, stopped being the chubby kid. And it made me a conditioning monster, I'd run every other day. I can't go, a few days without running. That's like my therapy.
You're running outside in Texas too. We want to add that as an asterisk in the summertime.
That's why I run with my shirt off and in short shorts so I can get that vitamin D. Vitamin D is supposed to be really good for your overall health, and I feel like getting plenty of sun not only makes me tan and look shredded, but it's actually really good for my health and my hormone balance.
But for people at home who want to get to the level you're at, where they're really good at a lot of different qualities, how do you advise they build up to that? Because it's going to take a while to reach that level.
I always recommend starting off with like even with my clients who haven't been working out or they're starting from ground zero. I tell them to build a strong foundation with a lot of core work. I like to have them do a lot of carries, like farmers carries, racked carries, like front rack holds, and hangs to build grip strength. And also, I get them to get on like a running and walking routine. Go hiking, run, walk, get used to moving first, and then a lot of carries, a lot of core work. You have to have a strong core before you can start lifting and adding load to your exercises. And obviously, I emphasize a lot of mobility, making sure you're able to move in certain ranges before you're able to add load to your exercises.
Okay. So I'm really interested in on how you eat now. Do you have like a specific set diet that you follow every day? Is there like, do you time your meals or are you just kind of eating when you're hungry?
I eat when I'm hungry, which is like almost every hour, every 30 minutes. So
I've seen you kill a giant tub of yogurt.
Yeah. That's me. That's like my favorite snack. We have this probiotic bowl here at the Onnit kitchen, and I've dubbed it the Swole Bowl because I've added extra almond butter for extra calories and strawberries. That's my favorite snack by far. It's got blueberries, strawberries, gluten-free granola, grass-fed yogurt, beet pollen, like all the good stuff. And I love snacking on stuff like that. Raw nuts, avocados. The only thing I stay away from, after all these years of experimenting with all these crazy diets, was just stay away from gluten. I find that really affects me. Like if I eat flour, like tortillas or bread, or even processed sugar, it just fucks with my like inflammation. Like I'll have back pain or shoulder pain, and like it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me like foggy in the head too.
Yeah. See,
Gets me in a bad mood.
We found his kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
horrible.
feel like
I hate it. It tastes so good, but man.
See, I
It's not worth it.
feel like this is a big thing, and it goes. I mean, maybe not gluten for everybody, but just bad food in general, like fast food, all that kind of stuff. Is when you're at an average human being level, you're not going to really notice those differences as much as somebody like Eric would, who's performing every single day in the gym. He's not only working with his clients, but he's also doing stuff for his Instagram. He's going full bore all the time. So all those little changes you notice.
Yeah, I notice a big difference when I add or take things away from my diet and my performance.
But for regular people, they probably will notice if they took all that stuff out, how much better they would feel.
Yeah.
If they eliminated all the crap that's giving them,
But like,
in my experience with clients who start omitting stuff out of their diet, at first they start feeling like sluggish or different, or like they're not used to the new diet. Yeah. And so they go, oh, it's not working for me. It's making me feel worse. But it really just takes time to adjust.
I think what it is, and I learned this growing up, is when you're, especially growing up in a small town, in like a suburban town that doesn't have a lot of healthy food options, is that when you eat like that your entire life growing up, you don't know what feels good. Yeah. You think that feeling full and sluggish or whatever it is after a meal is normal. When it really shouldn't be that way.
Oh man, I'll work out on a full stomach sometimes. All the time. I hate working out on an empty stomach. And it's just because I'm not eating like bread and flour, processed sugar. I'm eating just lean proteins or proteins from a healthy animal source or healthy fats, veggies, and I have no problem.
Yeah, but you do. I know from experience you do cheat sometimes.
Yeah.
So how often do you allow yourself that? And you say, you love pizza and you go to the Double Detroiter at
months of October and the end of early January.
You have it down to the month.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not
pretty
just like
when I have
every
to wear
Saturday. Not every Saturday. It's like a certain time of month.
Yeah, like during like the winter months, I'll eat whatever the fuck I want and just get huge, pack on like 20 pounds, and then I'll start leaning out once January comes around.
Man, I battle with myself like every other day. I couldn't do it by season.
Yeah.
So we're discussing you're functional. You do everything that there is to do under the sun as far as fitness goes. What's your advice for guys who do want to pack on like aesthetic muscle and get a nicer chest or arms or abs? Like, what are your training tips for that?
To put on like aesthetic muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the traditional lifts, but honestly, if you really want to put on size fast, you gotta do your big lifts, your bench, your squat, your deadlift. That's gonna put on the most muscle mass. And if you want to get down to the little details, the bodybuilding exercises are what's gonna do it for you. The the shoulder raises, the bicep curls, the tricep extensions, the calf raises. If you're trying to look good, you got to pay some attention to those boring exercises. But you can mix it up. You can have fun. You can use kettlebells to get that done too. I hate using dumbbells. I don't mind barbells, but kettlebells can pretty much get the job done when it comes to those aesthetic exercises that we're talking about.
Can you just walk us through a sample workout that would give us, functional athleticism, but also the trophy muscles too? Like, what are some of the exercises you'd put in a typical day's routine?
I would do heavy. So, for example, I would do a set of heavy deadlifts. I would start off with, 10 reps deadlifts. I'll hit some pull-ups, wide grip pull-ups to hit the lats, but also, it's full body exercise. Core is engaged, super functional, and then I'll hit some sleds to get the even more leg activation, but get my heart rate up, get my metabolism going, start burning some calories. Pretty much just a full body exercise, and then add in the little things in there in between. They don't take very long either. I can squeeze in, hour workout, get everything target. I can hit the big muscles with the compound lift, like a deadlift, a squat, or a bench. And then I'll hit the little details like shoulder raises, triceps, bicep curls. I'll also put like different exercises together into one if I'm like feeling lazy. Like I'll do
combinations.
Like combinations. I'll do like a deadlift to a curl to a press, or RDL curl to press, just to knock it all out in one little set. In combination with like sprints or rowing. Just anything high intensity, combining a heavy lift, small lift in between as an accessory, and some type of cardio, like a jump rope or a sprint, just to put it all together.
Okay, so obviously you go pretty crazy, and you go pretty crazy often. So what do you do for recovery? Do you give yourself recovery days? Do you do maybe a yoga or something else to just kind of give your body a rest and some other stuff?
I teach on average 6 to 8 sessions a day, so I try to do my mobility and my decompression with all my clients. So I do a lot of that throughout the day. But as far as like recovery days, for the most part, I'll take like a day off on Saturday or Sunday and just like go for a swim, light jog, and most of my decompression I just do with my clients.
Okay.
During classes.
So you mentioned earlier that you're single. So obviously you're still out there meeting ladies, doing all that kind of stuff. So I think that's probably a big deal that a lot of guys have is they're going out, they're partying, or I don't know if you still go out and party, but they're going out meeting girls, all this kind of stuff, and they find they need to drink all the time, and then that drinking leads to bad eating and stuff like that. So how do you stay active in life and still keep your image and all that?
You just gotta learn to when you just gotta have fun in moderation. I like to party, I like to have fun, but honestly, I've never been a big drinker. If I do drink, I'll do just straight liquor. I'll do like tequila shots, tequila soda with lime. Just straight to the point, low calorie, no sugar or low sugar. But even then, I'll do that like once a month, twice a month at the most. And I'm just not a big drinker. I like having fun in other ways.
Really? So you're drinking like once a month? That's it?
Once or twice. Yeah, at the most, twice.
And when are you eating badly, would you say? When are you cheating on your diet?
On the weekends, like on a Sunday, I'll go have a stack of pancakes somewhere, or a pizza. But even then, if I'm like closing in on like something I got to do, like a shoot, or I got to shoot content for like for example, I got this online course I'm going to be releasing soon within the next 6 weeks, and I got to be lean and mean for that. So, or a fight, if I got a fight coming up, I'll take 2 months off, just straight edge, no drinking, no drugs, no bad eating, just super strict diet, and I'm pretty good about that. Staying focused, being goal oriented. But yeah, if you're single and you're trying to meet girls, honestly, man, there's other places besides going out and at the club finding girls. You're not gonna find a good girl down there, anyways. It's like
you're gonna take one. You're gonna take one to the altar,
and you would know. You've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. But.
Yeah, so you mentioned fighting. So you do fight. You've done some
I've
MMA,
done some amateur
you've done
MMA fighting,
some boxing,
some kickboxing, and ultimately I'm trying to get back into that or stay with it. Right now, we just added a Bang Muay Thai system to our gym, so I've been doing a lot of that about 3 times a week. Staying sharp, and that's my ultimate goal. Get back in there, keep fighting, and keep doing it.
Yeah,
using
so.
My strength and my whatever I got going for me to my advantage.
Yeah, so most people that are going to a fighting profession, when it's getting closer to a fight, they start training heavier. They start training differently. For you, do you do the same thing? Does your routine change? Or?
My routine definitely changes. You got to build up when it's if it's like 3 months out before a fight, I'll build strength. I'll spend the first 4 weeks, getting my strength to a maximum. 2 months in, I'll start focusing on conditioning, and 4 weeks out, I'll do only technique training, sparring, light sparring, and just to make sure I'm not, too tight or too, beaten down from heavy lifting or, high intensity training. I try to get to my max potential a month before, and then I'll maintain that as best I can without sacrificing my conditioning towards the closing in on the fight. So no heavy lifting, just 4 to 6 weeks out before a fight. Just straight conditioning, road work, and technique training.
Yeah, you fought, and you've also worked with a lot of the fighters who come through the Onnit Academy. What do you think competitive martial artists most need to work on?
Definitely mobility, and that's how a lot of guys get hurt. Pretty much any athlete, man. They don't focus on decompressing and recovering properly.
Mobility in the shoulders or hips? Or
yeah, definitely the shoulders, hips. All the main muscle joints that we're using in everyday life. Even it's like all these guys, they train super hard. They're putting in all the hours. They're breaking their bodies down, but they don't take the time to recover properly. And they're seeing diminishing returns when it comes to their training if they don't recover properly. So if I would have any advice to professional athletes, is to focus on proper recovery to really get the most out of their training.
Cool. So beach season's coming up, and everybody's probably
lake season around here.
Yeah, well,
Texas.
it's
lake season.
For here, we're already there almost, kind of, but. For people that, are maybe of average size and they just want to, maybe try to get a little bit more cut up for the beach season, to feel good about themselves and to feel, just to feel good as a person in general, physically, what kind of tips would you offer them, to make that happen?
I would say maybe start cutting back on the processed sugar, the donuts, the pizza. Start cleaning up your diet and start moving around. Get a little workout in, do as the best you can. If you don't have time to knock out like a hour and a half session, and just try to pick up a kettlebell, learn how to do a kettlebell swing. Man, there's so much benefit that comes from doing a kettlebell swing. You can use it for strength, power, cardio. Hit me up, I'll show you how to swing. And
yeah, so you're always using the kettlebells. What's the biggest kettlebell you're able to use in the craziest kind of movement, like that normally most people wouldn't be able to do?
A 24 kilo. I could pretty much do anything with a 24 kilo kettlebell, which is like 55 pounds. I can fling that around like it's nothing. But after that, it gets pretty challenging.
What are some of your other feats of strength people can check out on your Instagram page?
I can do pretty much anything I want to do. I'm just kidding. I can do.
No, you're not. That's
I know.
I can run a mile pretty fast, like in 5 minutes. You know,
5 minute mile?
yeah, 5 minute mile.
Let's race.
I can do a lot of pull-ups. I can do about 40 pull-ups in a row without letting go of the bar. I can do dragon flags. I can do like a zombie press. You ever heard what a zombie press is?
Explain us.
You lie face down on the floor, arms at length overhead, like just flat on your belly, and I pull myself onto my forearms into a handstand position. I pike my hips up, and then I press myself into a handstand.
Was there anything you used to train for that specifically, or was it just years of building a strong core?
Yeah, just years of heavy deadlifting, leg raises, and tons of training. It just takes a while, but you'll get there. You just gotta keep going.
Awesome. So, we always like to ask our guests to offer a tip for total human optimization. So if you could give our listeners any type of tip or philosophy you follow to help them reach their goals of total human optimization, what would you offer?
Just fake it till you make it, man. Don't be afraid of going or like taking on an opportunity that you think you're not ready for. Just take everything for what it's worth and just do your best and just roll with the punches. That's what I live by. I try not to be scared of anything.
A lot of people want to train with you if they can't do it here in person. What is this online course you have coming out?
I'm coming out with a website here in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm gonna come out with a foundational kettlebell course to help people build up to be able to do the complexes and flows that I advertise on my Instagram. So I would stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. And you could always come to the Onnit Academy, come check me out, do a session, take a class, group class. And also we offer kettlebell certifications through the Onnit Academy. The next one's coming up in April 22nd in California, in Carlsbad. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, just stay tuned to my Instagram, Primal Swoledier, and stay up to date.
Thanks for listening. If you want to listen to past episodes or make sure you get the latest as they are released, take a moment to subscribe on iTunes. Also make sure to visit onnit.com, that's ONNIT.com, for the latest in supplementation, foods, and fitness. I'm Rolando Rios, and you've been listening to Total Human Optimization.